We are the denizens of the dark, cloaked in blackest shadow. We are the fallen angels, soaring through ebon skies upon ravens' wings. We are the wolves that prowl the midnight hours to prey upon the harmless. We are the descendants of the dragon's blood, the keepers of the ancient flame. We are the chosen ones, who dare to explore the mysteries of the unseen realms. We are Legion, for we are many. And united, we cannot be vanquished.
So the most pressing issues and questions of morality surrounding the U.S. and the world today. So you people wish to become the President of the United States in our modern times. Let us take a look at what exactly that means to shake loose you glory seekers out there. First, let's just glimpse our own personal issues that you will inherit as the leader of our falling country. Our economy has officially been labeled an endangered species. Inflation rates are at their highest and the very value of the monetary system is on the verge of collapse. People don't want to work anymore because it isn't worth it. They work all day but still fall short of being able to pay rent and be capable of supporting themselves because of rising consumer and food costs. Soon consumer products such as baby formula, farmed goods and other byproducts necessary to support many daily lives will begin to run out. The hope of many Americans will be focused on the presidential-elect to see them through this scenario. What will you do? What makes you all think you are worthy enough to step up to this issue? More tax cuts and budgets aren't gonna work. You need a clear plan of action. Second, civil unrest. For ages we have watched the degradation of our country and what it stands for go down the drain. The country has reached its tipping point and wish for America to return to its pursuit of the American dream we were once told about when we were younger. It seems as though every time we turn to our government to fix these immoral foundations that have infected our society by allowing these acts of injustice to occur and get away with these acts, that our politicians only seem to respond by passing more new laws that hold hidden caches of benefits for themselves, and nothing seems to change, only get harder for everyone else. The moral in our government's ability to properly function is in a severe state of doubt. What makes you think you are worthy to answer the need of attention to this subject? The founding father of this country, George Washington, was a man of action, not tax plans and bipartisan laws. That is what is needed now. We need a president who has a plan and takes action, and if there is no path of action, then they make one. Then we have the subjects of racism within the system, gender equality, and issues of human rights such as the abortion laws or the detainment of foreign at the borders. These issues must be met by someone who is not a political byproduct of the system. Someone who has not sold out their belief in what is right and what is wrong for the sake of the marginal statistic. One who does not see the world through the eyes of autonomous technological solution or social boundaries. Someone who sees the world in a view beyond the black and white labels of our past and in the technicolor vision of the present. We don't need a president who has grand designs and plans for a better tomorrow or future. We need a president with his vision focused on the present, the here and now. This is only some of the more pressing issues within our own country that the next president will have to be capable of handling, not to mention the fact that you're inheriting a falling country that will be doomed should you fail in your term of office to be what we need and handle these issues correctly. This is not a situation that can be handled correctly through autonomous calculation, or annual budget overcasts, or tax reform bills. This must be handled by human judgment and someone who can make decisive judgment calls as the event unfolds before them. So thus we need a president who has moral foundations, not a saintly man or a Bible-thumping Christian man, but a truly grounded fatherly type person, man or woman, who has that empathic connection with those they care about. These are our country's issues, however. We also need someone who is knowledgeable and versed in foreign relations, who can step to the world stage with the same open and unbiased judgment we need for our own issues, and they can apply that to the multiple countries and cultures of the world. Without biased opinion or judgment for their culture's ways, beliefs or methods in which they run their country. He must realize that all countries have their own ways and methods of running themselves and maintaining their laws and system of government. He must realize that just because someone may approach them incorrectly, that does not justify returning that choice of action back on them, for the wrongs do not make anything right. The one who is elected here should not be someone who is timid either. We need someone who can lay down the line that should not be crossed with us. Someone who will not back down when defending our image when that line is tested. That we may be a country who dreams of peace and unity but is not above and beyond defending its integrity when shamefully challenged in any way. There is a growing problem rising with China, and where many see anger and frustration for what they have both done and been accused of. The humanity within me says that their issues over there supersede judgment for these things, and that they need help. Their actions may deem it necessary to do such cautiously, but still they are people, and they are facing unprecedented times and struggles. My moral foundations say that we should offer help to them, not because it would be the diplomatically wise choice or strategically wise choice, but because they need it. Because their entire country has been washed into the ocean, and they need help. How far are we willing to go before we become the monsters we stand against? How far are we all willing to go before we realize that this path risks our very human nature from being lost to us? That is my presidential debate. Face these issues and find one worthy to stand true to overcoming these issues, and you will find your next worthy president. Destiny does not often call twice. When you see the moment, you must decide whether you're going to be the one who stood up and reached for your destiny, or whether you were the one who let it pass by.
Hell Incorporated is not a subsidiary company, but a branch of the divine aspirations of God, the creator and architect of the universe. It was made solely for the purpose and reason to handle the greedy, unintelligent, manipulators and other various forms of idiots who think that getting ahead in life comes easier by the misfortune of others for your benefit. This is not an equal opportunity. Employment agency as demons do not have a gender or ethnicity to eliminate any problems from the living, being transposed upon the dead. As so it forewarns, this is an extremely hostile work environment, so racial vulgarities, demeaning comments, offensive and derogatory expressions should be not only expected, but supported as well. Any issue with ethnicity should be taken up with the extremely large red guy with bighorn sitting near the hottest place in this region you can find. This legal disclaimer adheres to all denizens in hell and does not apply to residents of said region. This power and authority is granted by the Holy of Holies upon my appointment to the position of the Keeper of Perdition, which is the place of punishment of the wicked and sinful. He is not eternal, and has a set limitation of 7 years. If within those 7 years the acquisition soul can show signs of acknowledgement and regret for the choices which led him to being damned in the first place, then those souls may become eligible to enter a time of peace and serenity in a region that shall be known as Providence, where they will be given the chance to acquire redemption for their sins through understanding of the teachings of figures of profound peace such as Jesus the Christ, the Buddha, or other such individuals or iconic mentors, wise men or teachings of inspiration that may include a figure from their recent culture as a start towards enlightenment. The final stage of his process shall be before the Lord himself, where they shall be given an opportunity to profess their understanding of salvation as they are to understand the wisdom of the prophets, that his will was passed unto man by. After this it shall be decided whether the individual is to return to life and reincarnate for a second chance to achieve the purpose in which God had designed him for. Hell is not eternal, and should not be viewed as such, for if it was there would be no justice or equilibrium in the universal balance of life, and the resentment for living would eventually destroy the very fabric of life itself, imploding on its own desire to exist. For all other inquiries please see the Master Soul Contract for any reference adjudications other than this one. As that being said, any and all statements made by the CEO of his company, Lucifer B. Mephistopheles, should not be taken in a literal sense unless accompanied by quoted words of the prophets, or other such holy figures and or angels, that would confirm that what he professes is by God's will through him to try and work his will upon the sinfully condemned. Any other form of statements made are to be considered questionable, as they may have come from Lucifer himself, or from one of the denizens within hell that may have tainted this vessel of God's will to the condemned spirits. This authority does not extend beyond perdition, unless it is in the interest of acquiring assistance from mortals who show promise of being a valuable resource for the function of perdition's success. These chosen mortals must be approved by heaven, who works towards the interest of creation's success and protection, by God, who is the lead designer and architect of creation, and by Lucifer's approval by representation in an informal, closed doors, meeting of divine powers that shall be known as the Gathering of Providence. It should also be made clear that it is because of his appointment to the Keeper of Perdition that his intentions should be questioned, but not denied unless proven otherwise. All other inquires please write to the I don't give a shit department, Suite 636, in the multiverse complex of I say so, because here at I say so, I say so. User's discretion is advised.